Hey everyone, it's June 3rd, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share it with sadistic murderer Bill Benefiel, who almost certainly would have been a serial killer were he not caught after kidnapping and torturing two young women, killing one of them in 1987. And that is him right up there. Benefiel was born in 1956 and was sold by his mother as an infant to a woman who ran a brothel who was a domineering figure in his life. Subjected to sexual and physical abuse as a child, he never held down a job and was diagnosed with a schizotypal personality, leading him to be paranoid, hallucinate, and have an inability to perceive reality. He had run-ins with the law in 1978 and 1980 when he assaulted two different women, but received no ongoing mental health services, so he was allowed to just get worse, which had tragic consequences. Near the end of 1986, a 30-year-old Benefiel kidnapped a girl who was just 17 while she was walking to a store 2 blocks away from her home in Terre Haute, Indiana. He forced her into a garage through an alley, tied her up and gagged her, then drove her home in his van, where he kept her chained up and handcuffed to a bed. Benefiel repeatedly sexually assaulted her over the next 4 months at gunpoint, kept her eyelids glued shut, cut her with a knife, and beat her. She was only given a baked potato and a glass of water each day for sustenance. He cut off one of her fingernails and a lock of her hair, putting them in a scrapbook he planned to use for his future victims. After 3.5 months of this treatment, a second girl, age 19, was kidnapped. Benefiel beat his second victim with an electrical cord, and after 12 days put super glue in her nose, pinched her nostrils shut, then left, leaving her to die from asphyxiation. He buried the girl in the woods behind his home. Luckily, the police had been tipped off to strange behavior by his neighbors, and they showed up at his door. He quickly put his first still living victim in a crawl space and tried to get rid of the authorities. They entered with a search warrant and rescued her, then found the body of a second victim in the nearby woods a few days later. Benefiel was quickly convicted of murder and sentenced to death by lethal injection. 18 years later, his appeals based on his terrible childhood and mental state were exhausted, and he faced his sentence. He had a final meal consisting of 1 large pizza with sausage, pepperoni, mushrooms, onions, green pepper, black olives, and tomatoes, a 12-inch Italian beef sandwich with cheese, 4 pints of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, butter pecan, cherry Garcia, New York super fudge chunk, and oatmeal cookie chunk, 1 Dutch apple pie, 6 cans of RC Cola, and 6 cans of Pepsi. Asked if he had any final words, he said, "No, let's get this over with, let's do it." The sentence was carried out in 2005, with Benefiel becoming the 13th person to be executed in Indiana since the death penalty was reinstated in 1977. We'll never know if this could have all been prevented to begin with had mental health services been made available to him when signs of trouble first emerged. And there's no telling how many women Benefiel would have attacked and killed, but it's certain there would have been more victims if the police hadn't acted quickly. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Have a great birthday meal. Eat some pizza, a sub, some ice cream, drink some sodas, but drink Coke. It's way better than Pepsi. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Bill Benefiel, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.